Chapter 8. Shiva's Forgiveness of Brahma. In the midst of a fierce and chaotic battlefield, where the very air seemed to tremble with the might of clashing gods, Mahadeva, the Supreme Lord Shiva, stood as the immovable force of justice. His eyes, deep as the cosmos and ablaze with divine fury, narrowed in contemplation. In that moment, from the very center of his brows, a terrifying figure emerged, Bhairava, the embodiment of Shiva's wrath, born to quell the boundless pride of Brahmā. Bhairava, a fearsome and formidable warrior with a body that radiated the dark power of destruction, immediately knelt before Shiva, his creator and lord. His voice was a low growl, reverberating through the battlefield as he asked, "O Lord, what shall I do? Please give me your command, and I shall fulfill it with all my might." Shiva, his voice as deep as the rumbling thunder, replied, "Bhairava, behold Brahmā, the first deity of the universe who has allowed his pride to blind him. He has spoken falsehoods and assumed a role that is not his. Worship him now with your sharp-pointed, quick-moving sword." Without hesitation, Bhairava advanced towards Brahmā, his eyes gleaming with a cold, merciless intent. With one powerful hand he seized the tuft of Brahma's fifth head, the one guilty of uttering falsehoods in arrogance. The grip was unyielding, as if the hand of death itself had grasped Brahmā. In his other hand, Bhairava brandished a sword, gleaming ominously in the dim light of the battlefield, ready to sever the head that had brought shame upon itself. Brahmā, once the epitome of regal composure, now trembled violently like a fragile plantain tree caught in the midst of a devastating storm. His celestial ornaments, once a symbol of his divine status, scattered in disarray. His flowing garments, always immaculate, were now ruffled and loose, a testament to his fall from grace. The garland around his neck, once the pride of the Creator, hung awkwardly, and his usually glossy tuft of hair was disheveled, reflecting the turmoil within him. Unable to maintain his dignity, Brahmā collapsed at the feet of Bhairava, the embodiment of Shiva's justice. At that moment, Achyuta, the compassionate form of Lord Vishnu, moved by deep sympathy for Brahmā, could not remain silent. Tears, as precious as pearls, fell from his eyes, wetting the lotus-like feet of Mahadeva. With palms joined in reverence, Vishnu, like a child pleading with its father, spoke in a voice filled with entreaty, "O Lord, it was you who bestowed upon Brahmā the 5 heads as a symbol of his divine role long ago. This is his first transgression, O benevolent one. Please forgive him and show him your mercy." The battlefield, once filled with the clamor of divine weapons and the cries of warriors, fell silent. The universe itself seemed to pause, holding its breath as it awaited Shiva's response. Moved by Vishnu's heartfelt plea, Shiva's anger abated. His fierce expression softened, and he nodded, signaling Bhairava to desist from punishing Brahmā. Turning towards the humbled creator, who now bent his neck in submission, Shiva's voice was both stern and compassionate. "O Brahmā," he declared, "in your arrogance you sought honor that was not yours to claim. You deceived the universe by assuming a role that belongs to none but the Supreme. For this act of roguishness, you shall not be honored by the world, nor shall you have temples or festivals dedicated to your name." Brahmā, though humiliated, was relieved that his life had been spared. With deep gratitude and humility, he bowed even lower and spoke, "O Lord, the fact that you have spared my head is in itself a great blessing, a boon beyond measure. I offer my obeisance to you, the originator of the universe, the Lord who forgives and shows mercy. You are the kinsman and protector of all beings, wielding the mountain as your bow. I am forever in your debt." Satisfied with Brahma's remorse, Shiva continued, "O child, understand this. Without the fear of a king, the universe would descend into chaos. Justice must be upheld and wrongdoers must be punished. Therefore, it is your duty to mete out justice and bear the burden of administering the universe." Then, as a sign of his magnanimity, Shiva granted Brahmā another boon, one that was unparalleled in its importance. "In all domestic and public sacrifices," Shiva proclaimed, "you will be the presiding deity. Even if a sacrifice is perfect in every respect, it will be fruitless without your presence. Your role in the rituals of the world is vital, and in this way you shall continue to be revered." Turning his gaze to the Ketaka flower, which had been complicit in Brahma's deceit, Shiva's expression darkened once more. "O Ketaka," he said, his voice laced with disappointment, "you have acted roguishly and deceitfully. For this you shall no longer be included in my worship." The Devas, witnessing the Lord's displeasure, immediately shunned the Ketaka flower, its once prized fragrance now a symbol of its fall from grace. Desperate, the Ketaka flower quivered in its place and pleaded with Shiva, "Obeisance to thee, O Lord. If you banish me from your worship, my very existence will be rendered meaningless. I beg of you, please forgive my transgression and make my birth fruitful." With great humility, the Ketaka continued, "It is said that your remembrance alone can absolve all sins, whether they are committed knowingly or unknowingly. Now that I have had the privilege of seeing you, how can the sin of speaking falsehood tarnish me forever?" Moved by the flower's sincere repentance, Shiva's sternness eased. "It is not proper for me to wear you," he said, "for I am the Lord and my words must remain true. However, my attendants and followers shall wear you, and in this way your birth shall indeed be fruitful. Additionally, you may be used to decorate the canopies over my idol in the temples. This shall be your blessing." Having forgiven and blessed all three, Brahma, Vishnu and the Ketaka flower, Shiva stood radiant and majestic in the assembly of the gods. The Devas, filled with awe and reverence, sang hymns in his praise, their voices rising in a celestial chorus that echoed through the heavens. The Lord, thus worshipped and eulogized, shone with unparalleled splendor, his presence a beacon of justice, mercy and unwavering truth in the vast universe.